Today I'm going to do a video on the most commonly asked question I get a lot. And that question is, how many fish can I keep in my tank? I get asked this question, I don't even know how many times, but a ridiculous amount. It's mainly by new people who are new to the hobby. So a lot of times I tell them is wait your 6 weeks, cycle your tanks. Everybody's impatient, so they end up waiting like 2 or 3 weeks if you're lucky. And those people, I tell them max out is 2 to 3 fish at a time, as long as they're community fish and they stay under like 2 inches. Unless they do bigger tanks, you know what I mean. But if you do cichlids, I recommend at least 3 gallons per inch because they just get massive and it can be a straight up brawl. Key factors for me is water changes, filtration, live plants, feeding, and one more thing I think of. 5 would be types of fish. Tank behind me, like I say, guys, it's close to 150 fish with the fry and the babies and the cories and everything. So we're going to zoom in on tank and we're going to talk about these 5 factors. So as you guys can see, there's quite a bit of fish in this tank. This ain't even all of them. This is just like the tip of the iceberg. Now let's go over my 5 key things. Water changes. I do a 50% water change on this tank once a week. I do feed really heavy in this tank, which is another reason you want a good filter when you do have a lot of fish. Because I do have a lot of corydoras. They're not out right now. They're all hiding in the plants. And you got to make sure they're getting fed too, or else they will die. A lot of people think that catfish don't need to be fed. That's crap. I mean, people think they eat poop. I don't know where that came up from, but I hear that quite a bit. I don't want to get off topic too much, but I had a guy call me at work and goes, I have a placa on a tank. I'm like, yep. Will it die without other fish? I was like, what do you mean? He's like, there's no fish in there. Won't it die? I'm like, why? He's like, because it eats the waste and the algae. And I had one of those moments when like smack my head. You don't want to discourage people. So I was like, so I told him, I'm like, they don't eat poop. I'm like, do you eat poop? He's like, no. Why would a fish eat poop? I'm like, oh. Water changes. Number 1, filtration. I have a 70-gallon filter on this tank. It's a 36-gallon tank, so it's twice as strong. When you have a lot of fish, there's going to be a lot of waste, and you do not want the waste just sitting around inside the tank, because it's just going to make everything get cloudy and it's going to be nasty. It's just going to adhere to everything. Another thing is I keep a lot of sand in my tank, because with sand, the waste doesn't really go into it. It kind of just stays on top until the current or the fish knock it up and it gets sucked up into the filtration system. So I don't have to ever do gravel vacs, because that's one thing I hate is just doing gravel vacs. Another thing is with the live plants is they do eat a lot of waste. Like this Java moss over here, there's just so much of it, and the fish love it. They eat it, they hide in it, which is a great benefit, and it sucks up a lot of waste. There's quite a few plants over here too. You guys probably don't think it's too much, but there's got to be at least 40-50 plants in this tank. They're just so compacted together. So my list number 4 is feeding. You feed a lot, you're gonna clean a lot. So just remember that. Whatever. What I always tell people when they buy fish and they ask how much to feed, I tell them the fish don't need to eat every day. It's good for them, but the more you feed, the more you clean. And if you don't have time to clean, then don't feed as much. It's one of my favorite things to tell everybody. The more you feed, the more you clean. The less you feed, the less you clean. It's good to remember, good to know. So like a tank like this, that's why I gotta clean it more. I'll clean out the canister filter once every month. It's pretty big. Unless the water starts to get cloudy, I'll pull it out sooner, but it's 70 gallon, it just guppy, so it takes a little while for it to really get backed up. That's why I do 50% water changes, like I said, once a week. And the 5th factor to me is types of fish. Like this tank's predominantly just guppies, swordtails, some neon tetras, the hatchet fish, 2 glass catfish, and like 30-some corydoras. They're all different types of cories. We have these ones I bought as punctuatus, but I'm pretty sure they're not. We got emeralds, thurbis, julies, bronze, Bellinis, Adolphis. There's just so many different types. So I guess what I'm saying essentially is types of fish you have can make a huge difference because they're not clustering up together. As you guys can see, these fish are all spread out. They're all enjoying their lives. Nobody's stressed out. Everybody looks happy. Everybody's healthy. These are two of my most favorite swordtails. I've been waiting for them to lay some babies. The blood red eye swords. Super hard to find for some weird reason. The meal is gorgeous. They're right around 4 inches on the meal. The meal's right around 3 inches. They're nice, big, healthy fish. She looks preggo, so she should be dropping babies soon, hopefully. Eventually I will take some fish out when it gets to a certain point and bring it down to my local fish store and he can sell them off. But yeah, it's just fun to watch. I love watching just schools of fish, especially tons of babies. At nighttime I'll drop a ton of food and just watch the cories come swimming across the tank. It's pretty cool to watch. Yeah, so those to me are my 5 main factors if you guys want to keep more fish. But don't rush into it. It takes time. A lot of people try to rush and just pack tanks. If you do that, you're going to crash your tank right away. It's a gradual increase. You slowly want to do it. But anybody can do it. And a lot of people are probably going to give me negative feedback on this video because they're going to be like, wow, that's too many fish. But when you're in the hobby for a long time and you know what you're doing, you have a better understanding of how the fish work and how everything works and the whole process. But anybody can do this. It's just you got to learn your fish. I've been keeping fish now for I want to say about 14 years. I'm doing freshwater. I've kept a saltwater tank now for about 7 months, but I had one for about 6-7 months a while back. I just got bored with it because I didn't do anything fancy with it. But yeah, you guys can definitely do this. If you guys have any questions about it, just feel free to ask, or any tips or what types of fish you would do. Feel free. I'm almost at 100 subscribers. Just want to thank everybody that actually watches my videos and subscribes. I appreciate it a lot. I'm not going to tell you guys to subscribe because I can't stand those people, or tell you to hit that like button. It's up to you. If you like it, you're more than welcome to. And thanks for watching, guys. Any feedback, feel free to comment, message me, and have a great one.